What's going on, everybody? My name is Devon, or Dev, aka devdelmolino. I'm here with Pablo the Don. We are part of Obligatory. We are here for Obligatory's new first episode of our content creator interview series. And I couldn't think of many better people to bring on to a series like this, and definitely not someone for a better first episode than who we have today. So introducing them, the founder of thatgoodshit, which is a music curation platform, a small artist support platform. This person is also an artist manager for an up-and-coming underground MC out of the East Coast on Massachusetts. They're a playlist curator. They wear a lot of hats. They are a TikTok music personality, and through those, they've been able to leverage that success into becoming a legitimate music industry professional. So without further ado, we welcome to the interview series Annabelle Kline. Annabelle, how you doing today?
I'm doing so phenomenal. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Pablo, how you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good time. I'm excited.
Totally with you on that. Right, but before we do any like lightning round questions, did we miss a title? Did we miss a skill, a trait?
Yeah,
a
because you wear a
superlative?
lot of hats.
Man, I mean, I feel like you hit all of them pretty well, you know? I kind of just be doing everything, but within everything you gave, that sounds about right. It's crazy hearing it back. I'm like, wow, I really do that.
I know it's
Are
crazy
we-
to hear somebody rattle it all off to you and be like, damn, yeah, I did that.
Are we
Yeah.
calling you a DJ yet? I know you've been practicing.
Hey, not yet, but we're getting there. I'm starting to
Yo.
DJ for DiZ now at his shows. So slowly
No
but
way.
surely. Yeah.
That's kind of lit. Not
the
gonna
manager DJ moment.
That's what's up. There's always like a progression of DJ from like playing songs off the laptop, like just clicking play
No,
to
legit.
like the steps.
I
So,
bet you
yeah.
DJ'd all your high school parties like just straight off your phone, didn't you?
Yep.
That's exactly how it starts.
Accurate.
You DJ off
Yep.
the phone, then like you're like, okay, maybe I'll mess around before you get like a real mixer, and then like you get the actual turntable. Then you're like, okay, and then you just start blending songs. Then eventually it turns into a thing.
I
it's
definitely
only a matter of
missed.
time.
I definitely missed aux chord connoisseur in the
Facts.
list of titles that could probably go along with you.
That's right.
Okay.
Oxford connoisseur is correct.
Okay.
That's
there
a
we
good
go.
one, actually.
Yeah.
We should trademark that.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Free game on that one.
Put it on a t-shirt.
So I'm thinking with just about every guest we bring on here, I want to get a feel for just like what they like in music, where they are at in music, and I think some of these questions might help me get to the bottom of it. These are some of my favorite like icebreaker questions to just ask people. And my favorite question always is, what was your first ever concert?
I can tell you that my first concert was Jimmy Buffett with my dad. And it was in Santa Barbara, California. And I wore like a little balloon hat with a parrot. It was like made into a little parrot. Yeah, it was Jimmy Buffett.
That's actually pretty sick, though.
That is sick.
Like, I don't know if Margaritaville would be my favorite first concert, but like that's a sick first concert, though. Not gonna lie. As someone from like a beach town, that's a sick first concert.
There's definitely genres of the first concert. There's usually like the one your parent let you go to for the first time or something that was your artist. But then there's also like what it sounds like your dad was a Jimmy Buffett fan, so you get brought along to the Jimmy Buffett concert, and that's like your first concert.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
memory. I still remember it. I don't even know how old I was. I must have been like 5 or 6. I was very
That's
small.
crazy.
Can you recall like one of your favorite ever concerts? Do you know what one or two of your favorite ever shows you've been to or most proud of?
I know for me, a concert that I'll always remember is when I saw the band Fun for the first time. I think I was like 14, and I like broke into GA and like elbowed my way to the very front as a small 14-year-old girl. And that's when I just like realized how much I loved live shows. And I think my all-time favorite concert was probably like Frank Ocean in 2017 at FYF Fest.
Yeah,
That's
a
great.
good one.
That's great. That's
That's
on
a
my
good
bucket list for
performance
sure.
too.
Yeah.
I can't imagine elbowing to go see Nate Roos and Jack Antonoff, but like I get the energy though. I understand it. I couldn't do
Yeah.
it, but I get it's Jack
Yes.
Antonoff. I get it.
Bro, yeah, Jack Antonoff was right in front of me, and I didn't know who he was at the time, but I was like, he's cool, and I feel like he's important. Like I felt the energy off him. I was like, he's giving something. And
Yeah, the time frame you named, the time frame you dropped too, like 2014, is so right on too, because like they had the shit in the chokehold. Like
No, it's like
Fun in
peak fun
2014.
era, and then like right before Jack Antonoff goes to make like the 6 best pop albums of the 2010s.
literally an icon.
Any like high school fave artists? Like, what was your rotation? Like maybe like your upperclassmen years of high school.
Upperclassmen years of high school, it was definitely like beach punk music. It was a lot of like the growlers and the drums. I also loved like Home Shake, and kind of that whole scene, like lots of Mac DeMarco,
Yeah,
and then at the
Jangle
same
Pop.
time, lots of like Kendrick Lamar.
That's cool. That's
Wait,
pretty
what
different
year did
than
you
what-
graduate high school? That's the real question.
Yes,
2017.
Dang, am I old?
I think we're the same age.
Are
I
you?
think. Wait,
Nah,
I graduated in 2014.
you're only 3 years younger. You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We
Yeah.
graduated
I
in
ain't mad at it.
2014.
I ain't
We're
mad at it.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm like 2017. What was I doing? And then I remember like I'm in college trying to figure things out, figure out life.
Like, oh yeah, I was depressed. During that
No,
time.
legit. It's like that's when mental
no,
health
literally.
kicked in.
Yeah. And then any favorite albums so far this year?
I really loved the Red Veil album. DiZ released an album this year that was crazy, Ultraviolet. So
Ultraviolet,
love
yeah.
that album. Gosh, who else has dropped this year?
It's been wild. Saba.
Saba, for real. Yeah,
Vince, we got
Yeah, the Vince album.
Vince's album was crazy. Yeah, I would say that like Red Veil and DiZ have definitely been my favorite albums of the year so far. The Kendrick album is going to be up there as well.
Well, that's actually a great place to start. Definitely one of your favorite albums this year has to be DiZ's Ultraviolet, which seems like it just came out probably about a month ago now. Can you tell me, one, kind of how y'all met and arranged to form a professional relationship, and what traits about his music sort of drew you to working with him in this space?
Yeah, so I came across DiZ on TikTok. Someone had tagged me in one of his videos and was like, you need to check this guy out. And like the moment I heard his music, I just like, it's like a switch flipped. Like I've never like connected with an artist in the way I connected with his music. And for me, it was mainly just like the way that he's able to express emotion is so honest and so authentic, and it's really beautiful. And so I just reached out to him and I was like, hey, like I'm a really big fan of your sound. I really love what you're doing. I'd love to like try to work with you. And so I was listening to him for like a couple weeks, really just getting to know his music. And then we were just kind of lightly talking about what he had going on. And then one day I called him up and I was just like, yeah, so I really want to try to manage you. I've never done it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I think I can help you. And, you know, we can like grow together and make something beautiful happen. So we just kind of started off that way and started from the ground up and have just been working together and ended up becoming really close friends. And so the working relationship has been amazing. And I think what makes him special as an artist, there's so many things. Like he's a complete and total individual. Like he is not trying to be anyone else but himself. He also goes to Berklee College of Music and plays saxophone. Like he's a crazy jazz musician. So the way that he's able to integrate that into his music, he does like a lot of his own production as well. So the way he incorporates like that musicality of jazz, but also like the like really deep emotional, like gritty feeling of like the rap style he does, it just comes together really beautifully and allows him to be really versatile. So I think that's what makes him really special. Like he's very much his complete own person. He doesn't sound like anyone else.
I'm sure you got a chance to hear some of or all of this album as it's being created. So from your perspective, how did that play out? And what were your initiatives as a first-time artist manager that doesn't know what they're doing, as you say? And what sort of approaches, what sort of tactics, what sort of ideas came naturally to you in trying to help promote and help this album succeed?
Yeah, so the album creation process was very much just like he'd be like, I made this today, and I'd be like, oh my God, this is incredible. And it would just like come out perfect. And so it was really just him doing his thing and me being a fan. He's really self-sufficient in the way he makes his art. So I remember like hearing the first draft of the album and then seeing like each new revision, adding features, changing up like little things in each song, just watching it come together and actualize was really special. And it really helped me just get in tune with like the message he was trying to convey. So it was really cool watching that come together. And as a first-time manager, I really just knew it was my job to like take the time to deeply understand the album, the intention behind it, and who was going to connect with that, and to actively seek out the audiences and the people I knew would really appreciate it. Because it's cool to have press all over the place, but what's really important is targeting the audiences that, you know, are looking for that and want to hear it and are going to actively engage and be like lifetime fans of DiZ. So for me, that looked like, you know, going through all of the connections I've made and all of the people I know, sending the album to them, you know, obviously like sending early listening links, sending just, you know, getting feedback from people on the album, like, what do you think about this song? And really just leveraging, luckily, like, because I've been able to grow such a great platform and such an engaged platform on That Good Shit and on TikTok, reaching out to those platforms and, you know, getting people excited. Those all kind of came into play with getting the album out there. And at the end of the day, like, I am very lucky that both DiZ and I have a lot of really supportive friends who do really cool stuff in music and are really well connected, who are just down to help because they love the music. I always tell DiZ, like, we don't have to stress too much because the music speaks for itself. And when it's this amazing, like, it's gonna do well because the music is that good. It's very simple. So it was a fun journey. And like for our first album release together, I think it couldn't be going better.
It just crossed 100K, didn't it?
Yeah, Fairweather just hit 100K streams. The whole album is, I think, like more than that now, but it's been doing like incredibly well, which is crazy. So it's so cool.
Yeah, that's got to be rewarding for you as someone who's helping, you know, work along this process and seeing results coming from it. Which also, shout out to Pitchfork covering Fairweather. And shout out to Dylan Cinemasai Green for writing that piece. He's been on my podcast before. Very, very
Dylan is amazing.
Did you ever see yourself becoming a manager? Like when you started TikTok, like did you think you would end up managing artists, or was it like well shit, here I am?
I definitely didn't see it. I mean, to be fair, I didn't foresee any of this coming. Like, but like I didn't really think about wanting to be a manager. And then slowly, like as I was meeting more people like Mike, Creator K, who manages Malik Elijah, and Rayan, who manages Red Veil, I was meeting all these managers being like, I feel like all of their traits that make them good at what they do, I also have. And I also like love helping artists, and I love like making personal connection with artists. And I was like informally helping a lot of people. And I was like, it could be cool to build that special relationship with someone. And eventually I started asking people around me, like, when will I know that I would be ready to maybe manage an artist? What do I have to learn? And everyone told me the same thing. Like, you just have to find an artist you love and then just jump into it. And I just kind of waited until the right person came along. So it happened really naturally.
Do you think you would like stay in that management role, or do you see yourself becoming like an A&R type?
I don't know. I definitely see myself I want to stay in management and get really, really good at it, because I think that like I feel like I'm doing pretty well right now, but I feel like in a couple years down the line, when I'm actually armed with all the information and experience, I think I could be pretty good at it. So I'd like to stay in it for a while and see how it goes. I could see myself potentially being an A&R, but with That Good Shit and everything I've been building so far, I'm really excited to kind of innovate like what management and what A&R and all that kind of stuff looks like, and maybe kind of create new roles for people to fill in the music industry that's not just a manager like A&R, if that makes sense.
For sure. No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think like we're progressing past like traditional labels of like people that work in the music industry. I mean, like look at our careers, but I think like as you know the creator economy grows, there's going to be like these weird jobs that just end up popping. Like I never thought that our job would be a job. Like it feels weird because like I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't think of myself as an influencer. I just like talk about music that I like, and other people happen to like it or respect that. Like I mean, I guess Fantano opened the door for all of us, but I don't feel like a Fantano either. Like I don't feel like that's what I do. Like I feel like it's not that we're better, but like it's just beyond that iteration of like content creation now. So like I don't know. I have no idea where life is going to take me. Just like I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
like as it
exciting.
comes. Oh, it's so fun. Like it's probably one of the funnest things about everything. And like I think being able to kind of like dip a toe into like the professional world and kind of get that knowledge and then like kind of bring it back to our circle because we don't want to be over there is like the fun part.
It is the fun part. It's like the blending of like our little circle and of like the industry and kind of like pulling knowledge and experience from like working in that side, and then also like coming back to our group of people being like, okay, here's what we know, how can we like expand on this and do it in a better way, you know?
Exactly. Like how can we do this our way without like having to do all of that stuff that they do with the politics and stuff. Like I think that's been the cool thing, and I think like we'll all kind of like, I don't want to say like go down in history, but I think it's going to be pretty legendary, like what ends up coming of this, because we all laid that like foundation of figuring that whole lane out because nobody's done it like that before.
So speaking of like getting your foot into the music industry, and this is definitely, I think, a highlight in Annabelle's career that is really impactful to this point and something we should definitely bring up. I've seen you talk about this in other spaces, but you went on tour with EARTHGANG for a section of their run, and that was 2021, right? That wasn't all the way. Was that this year or?
That was this year. Yeah,
that was this year?
That was like earlier this year.
That was very early this year. So it sounds like EARTHGANG was previously aware of Annabelle, having interacted with her content through places like Instagram or TikTok. And it was David Peters of Dreamville that reached out to you initially, and then Barry Hefner of Dreamville reaching out to you to actually invite you on tour dates. And, going on about like 5 or 6 dates, she worked as a promotional social media agent, I guess, in a way, and curating content for the tour, on tour, about the album and the experience. And it sounds like you were given pretty much free reign on what you wanted to do. So with all of that said, the first thing I was curious about was what cities did you get to visit during your time on tour?
Yeah, so we went to Atlanta, Denver, Dallas, Los Angeles, London, Chicago, and then New York.
How did you even like balance that shit? Because
I did not balance.
No, I was gonna ask. I really should have checked in. I think I had just broke my ankle when that was happening, so I was like, no. But no, because like I saw that you were still like posting content on your own stuff and then like making Dreamville stuff, and I'm like, then I'd be like, one day you're in New York, the next day you're like in like fucking Texas, and I'd be like, how is she like? What are you running on? Like, what did you? More importantly, what did you drink? And or I know you didn't do drugs, but like, what did you drink while on tour to stay up? Like, what was your energy drink?
I drank a lot of coffee. I drank a ton of coffee. I also just drank a lot of water, and being around them, like they're generally like pretty healthy people. Like Olu especially always be drinking water. And so that reminded me like I need to drink more water. And I don't know, we just like ate good. And I was mainly running off the excitement. Like I would wake up every day and be like, wow, I get to go hang out with EARTHGANG and make TikToks. Like I could be the most tired person in the world, but I definitely like took a lot of naps, did a lot of when I kind of like how the traveling worked was I'd go out for a couple days to a week and then come home for a few days and then fly to the next date. So I had time to come home and kind of like reset, bang out all the content I needed to make. I definitely, if I was doing that for like months on end, I could not balance it, but we made it work because there was no option,
That's amazing that you got to go on an overseas date too, though, as well. Like going to UK, that's the icing on the cake. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was such a big milestone for me personally, because not only was I like traveling for work, but I was like traveling out of the country for work, like within my first year of kind of like starting what I was doing. So it was so meaningful to me, and London is so cool. It was amazing.
That is nuts. I think that's like my favorite accomplishment that anyone from our group has done yet. Is like
that's a big one.
Someone
that's a really big one.
By far. And we've done cool stuff. But that one, I was like,
and you were saying
Annabelle's in a league of her own with that.
You were saying, Pablo, there's like a tinge of history to what you guys are all doing and making happen in your lane. And this is totally to me,
I'm not even trying to be arrogant. Name somebody else. Name somebody else from the internet that has gone on tour with an artist that doesn't like sit there and like does a shiggy dance and shit, that like is making content off their own platform on the internet and got to go overseas. You can't. Annabelle's the only person. Like, I can't name. Do you know anyone else, Annabelle? Because I don't.
I don't. And I think EARTHGANG's like the first artist ever to like do that, which is so smart of them. Like their management is so intelligent and forward thinking in that way. And so I hope that more artists use this strategy too, because it's really smart.
Yeah, like you can't name anyone else that was willing to like embrace creators like that either. Like that you can't, like there's no one else. Like there's just no one else.
There are a lot of really talented creative artists out there that are not getting super huge label budgets too. And so to like do something a little bit more creative with the promotional aspect of the tour and getting you involved and getting some like really direct interaction with a strong fan base like yours, I think was like a really, really cool move. Like you're saying, that's why this represents like just a really interesting, really unique, really pretty historic promotional venture for an artist to be able to do that sort of thing. So my question off of that is like, if you could do this again in some way, shape, or form, would you change anything, or what are there artists that you would particularly be excited to do something like this for? And maybe as a tail question, what kind of artist do you feel like benefits the most from trying to promote their album in the way that you did with EARTHGANG?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many artists I would love to do this with. I would do this with like any artist I listen to ever. I would love to do it with. I mean, I'd love to do it with like smaller artists that I work with and I'm friends with and I'm kind of like have been coming up with when they start going on like more tours, like people like Wakai and DiZ and Marco Plus. Like I'm excited to go along on like tours with them and kind of document that. But in terms of bigger artists, like shoot, I would love to do stuff with more Dreamville artists. I'd love to do something with like Jid. I'd really love to do something with like 070 Shake. I love her so much.
070 Shake is dope.
That might be able to happen.
Dope.
Bruh, I hope so. I really want to do it with an artist who's more mysterious on social media, because then it's like more rare. So people see that pop up on their timeline and they're like, hold on.
Yeah, you're really getting a look inside, to an artist that doesn't normally do that.
That might be possible though. That, cool. That might be possible, I think.
Yeah. But what I generally think is that, the best artists to do it with are people who have a really engaged audience and artists who have already like been exploring in what they do. Like EARTHGANG does everything. Like they create really great music, and then they also do like really cool tours, and they have amazing like merch and interactive experiences. They do pop-ups, and they're just really tight with like EARTHGANG is like a family. Like EARTHGANG is the fans, so I think that's why it worked so well. But yeah, I think it could really benefit any artist. So yeah, I think the opportunities are endless. I'm just excited to see how more artists kind of employ this method and make it work,
Yeah.
Were there certain networking opportunities that you, I guess, were privy to in this experience that are worth talking about, were exciting, or are benefiting you in some way, shape, or form today?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously like getting connected to Barry was huge for me. He's been like a really amazing mentor since we connected, and he's been really helpful in like what I'm trying to build and what I'm trying to do. He always offers like such amazing perspectives to me. Getting connected to the whole like Since the 80s team, they've all been really supportive of me, have sent me so many cool opportunities, connected me with people. And so yeah, that was amazing. Like their team Q and Zeke and all of them were just really amazing to meet. And I mean, I got to meet ASAP Ferg with them, which was really amazing. I got to connect with like their photographers and videographers who I'm friends with now, and I get to see them do cool stuff. I met so many cool people. I made like friends with these girls in the green room one night who ended up like, one of them is DJing at an event I'm having next month, and we got like brunch together. So I made business connections, and then I also made just a bunch of new friends. So everyone I met was amazing, and like my experience couldn't have been more positive, especially as like I was the only woman in the group touring, and so going into it I was like a little worried about how that might go. Just like as a woman, we always be scared, but I have never felt more like comfortable and safe than like when I was with that group throughout the tour. So it was really a great experience.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that just hearing you talk about it, it's a really cool thing. And like you're saying, I'm hoping that there's more opportunities for people like yourself to keep breaking the mold on, you know, how we go about doing some of these pretty tried and true things like touring and like releasing albums and, you know, everything that comes with actually signing a record deal and, you know, making your living through that. There's so much more to be doing creatively out there than what we are, and you definitely show that with that move. But yeah, your business and line of work in general has been super interesting, as it is with a lot of people who are growing a following, be it through TikTok or Instagram or some other social media platform, and then leveraging again that into something a little bit more traditional or, you know, industry minded. But one thing that I think is personally really really interesting that you have made a part of your kit and your craft is making playlists for a living in some aspects and building a business through making really fire playlists. So for anyone out there who thinks like they make the best playlists of anybody that they know, and that people are always coming to them for music suggestions and making them playlists, and maybe they've done that for free, do you have any advice or, you know, tips on where you've gotten started on incorporating that into your business model?
Yeah. So just to give a little background, like for so much of my life, like friends and family would always hit me up for playlists for any occasions. Like if there was going to be like a family barbecue or a birthday party, people would always hit me up for playlists. Or I would always make my friends playlists for any special occasion, like birthdays or graduations or whatever it may be. So I always viewed playlists as they can be like a gift, and they are like a playlist is a thing that has value, and it's something you can give to someone and it will add value to their life. And when I started on TikTok after a few months, so many people were asking me to make them playlists, where I was like, okay, there are so many people out here who actually see value in like the art of someone putting together a playlist for them. So why don't I see if, like, you know, it's something I can monetize and make a business out of. To this day, I get a ridiculous amount of backlash on it because so many people think it's stupid, which is valid. Some people are going to think it's stupid.
What kind of concerns do people raise? What do people like throw at you that they're saying what you're doing is invalid, illegitimate, or something, or stupid?
People just be like, y'all are really paying for like, people just really be like, y'all are really paying for playlists. That's stupid. Just kind of like that.
I mean, yes and no in a way, because like but I only say yes because like as a person, sorry, with good music taste, I would never play for a playlist, but like
exactly.
If you don't have good music taste, that's a necessity, like for whatever occasion. So like I get what they're talking about, but also I would love to see their playlists, because if it's shitty, I'm gonna be like, you should probably pay for one.
And I definitely think it's valid, the people, because there are so many people who are not going to find value in it. Like, you know, I've only bought like one custom playlist from like someone else before because I feel like I don't need to. So there are people who don't find value in it, but like what I'm doing, I'm here for the people that, you know, would like that. And It's shown that so many people do want that. People often like buy them as gifts for people, or will buy them to like play in their office or play in like their small business. So tips I have for people looking to get into it would just be like, you know, market yourself to your friends and family first. Like those are the people that are going to support you and like put the word out that you're doing this. That's how I got started, is just telling all my friends and family.
So did you start that good shit after you hopped on TikTok, or was that already like your thing before?
Yeah. So I started it after I hopped on TikTok. I had like crumbs of an idea of that good shit before TikTok, where I had started this Instagram called Playlist, where I was posting like a weekly playlist, and it kind of died. And so I was trying to start some form of like platform. And then after TikTok, I started TikTok in like October of 2020. I was doing that for a few months. And then that good shit was started January of 2021.
Okay. But are you like, how, I guess my question is like, what is your method for finding new music? Because you do that weekly new music playlist. What's your method?
Yeah, I have so many different methods. First, like I'll just do the regular like look through new music playlists on Spotify and all that. Yep. I keep a note in my phone throughout the week of any talk I hear of new music from anyone, so that I can kind of like keep track.
Smart.
And then, yeah, I mean, outside of new releases, just discovering new artists and new music in general. I get a lot of it through my friends. My friends are always sending me stuff. Through my submissions form is where I find so many of my favorite artists, which is like, I largely listen to like mostly smaller artists now, because that's where I'm finding all this, like all my favorite music through there. And then I also like to find a lot of music through watching interviews and hearing the artists and the songs that artists I look up to are talking about, and what they're listening to. So I listen to a lot of music that I pull from like interviews and stuff like that as well.
What's your favorite interview like series? Like who's your favorite interview series to watch, or interviewer to like watch?
I love watching Nardwuar interviews. I love watching Nardwuar interviews. And then I also love the Rick Rubin interviews at Shangri-La, like the one with Pharrell is like one of my favorite things ever on the planet.
The Broken Record podcast with him and Malcolm Gladwell
is so incredible.
Really, really, really cool.
So good.
I guess like on TikTok, because like I don't think we've ever talked about like how you like blew up. I think it just happened, and then like I think I saw a video that you like did about like who's the next Pharrell, and I stitched it, and I like realized you followed me. I was like, oh shit, I'm following her back. But like, when did you start taking off on TikTok, and when did you notice? More importantly, because I think people like misinterpret what it is to have a platform, because like while I say like, yeah, we don't have 1 million followers, but I think we have like 2 of the most engaged platforms there are. Yes. So like, when did you notice that you had like a platform that people actually engage with versus like 1 billion fucking followers?
Yeah, I mean, so the video that got me started was what his favorite rapper says about him, a classic. And it was like, I was like, oh, if you listen to Polo G, he acts tough, but if you yell at him, he'll cry. And if it's Nipsey Hussle, he probably trades for Forex. And if it's like da 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 da. And so that's the video that got it started. I made that into like a 10-part series. I think that after like the first few months of doing it, I was like steadily gaining traction. I hit 20K in like a matter of like 2 months, maybe. It was really short. So I think just like it was mainly seeing people ask for more and like reach out to me and really engage with me about my content. I don't know. I had just never experienced people like showing so much love to me talking about music like that. And it was just really rewarding to me because I've wanted to work in music my whole life. It was always my dream. And I never went for it because I was scared and I didn't see a place in the music industry where I felt like I fit. And so when I started seeing people engage with my content, ask for more, each video kept doing well, I was just like, okay, like this feeling I've always had inside of me that I need to do something with music is valid. And that just like, that's what got me started in realizing, you know what, like people care, I have a platform, let's do it.
So you hadn't even tried before, like to do anything music related before TikTok?
She had the playlists like page.
Yeah.
But that was like a project.
Instagram. I posted about music all the time on all my social media, but I never went for it like career wise. I like all through my college experience. In college, I studied environmental studies and philosophy, but like in my classes, I'd be looking at A&R internships and stuff like that. But I never went for it. I don't know why. I guess just like retrospectively, the time wasn't right and things had to align, but I was really frustrated with myself for not going for it. And I got to a point where I was like, wow, like COVID had hit, I just graduated college and I was like, my life's regret is going to be not working in music and I'm going to hate myself forever for it. And then here we are.
Environmental studies is wild. Like,
yeah, it's like wild different.
Why are you trying to save the planet? Are you a tree hugger? Are you trying to save the planet?
Yeah, bro. And my whole focus was environmental justice. And so originally I was going to like go to law school and work with like indigenous tribes to help them fight like climate violence and like unfair legislation. Yeah, I think especially when there's like, I'm entering into that kind of stage now where I'm getting a lot of more communication from bigger artists and from like labels that want to work with that good shit. And I think in my eyes, it's about actively choosing like, you know, to continue prioritizing and supporting the small artists alongside these big things. I think that they can coexist. And so that good shit can be a platform that works with like the freaking like Kendricks of the world and also like the DiZs of the world, you know. I think that they can coexist. So it's like a very big part of that good shit mission is going to be like constantly committing to supporting small artists no matter how big we might get, you know, because it really is about them. This platform I've built and all the doors I'm opening are just so I can bring everyone through the doors with me. I just want to like uplift the community as a whole.
Have you hired anyone else on team yet?
Yeah, so we just recently like did our first big expansion of the team. So we have 7 curators on our team now who help filter through submissions and also kind of like A&R and find new artists that we want to, you know, post about and share. And also working with a couple graphic designers now, as well as our boy, I just brought on this amazing guy, Mitchell, who's going to help us set up like some pop-up events in LA. So the team is always expanding. And also like my good friend Kat, who's in the UK, has been doing like some interviews and like photo shoots out there with artists for content for That Good Shit. So now we have like a little UK team. So yeah, it's a really cool group of people who are all just like very down with the cause. And I'm excited to see it continue to grow.
Sick.
Beautiful. I think that is going to conclude our interview right about there. That has been the first interview in the content creator interview series for Obligatory. We will also be featuring Annabelle in the first installment of our community content showcase. So this is a new series that we're going to be starting that I'm launching for Obligatory, where we're going to feature the work of Obligatory members alongside members of our community in sort of fan-sourced content and posts that we'll be able to share and promote. But for each one of these, we're going to do a sort of a creator profile or a creator of the week that will be the guest from this interview. So you'll be able to learn more about her here. You'll be able to see a little bit more about her and some of her content when we do that post. But Annabelle, I'll give this moment to you to sort of plug where people are going to find you on the internet if they want to be your biggest fan starting today.
Yeah, so you can find me in a multitude of places on the internet. You can find me on TikTok at Annabelle Kline with 2 E's. You can find me on Instagram at Annabelle Kline with 2 E's. You can find That Good Shit at thatgoodshit on Instagram. And also listen to ULTRA.VIOLET by DiZ. It's one of the greatest albums that's been released in the history of time. It's the 1 month anniversary today. So he's been doing amazing. So shout out to DiZ. And I'm trying to think anyone else or anything else I want to shout out. That's about it. Yeah, just keep up on TikTok and on Instagram. We're doing some amazing stuff. I'd also love to shout out my good friends and collaborators, Green Tea Studios. I didn't get to talk much about them, but they've been really essential in my growth as a creator, and we do a lot of shows together. So they're my partners in all of this. So shout out to Green Tea Studios in LA. And yeah, also big shout out to Pablo, because Pablo has been such a huge source of support for me and like inspiration. And I really, really look up to Pablo and what they do. So much love to Pablo. Much love to Obligatory.
You're the coolest. We're going to have to throw a joint show.
Oh, agreed. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm already on it.
Let's do it. I'm down. I want to throw a joint show. Let's do it.